Hi, everybody. Meteorologist Joe Cioffi here. Weather in 5 days in 5 minutes. Brought to you by Omni True Value Hardware at 1226 North Wellwood Avenue in West Babylon, New York. 6317-561125. They've got everything you need to get you through this winter. Salt and the lowest prices anywhere in the New York City tri-state area and beyond, along with all the great snow melt products out there, Pelleto, Mag, Ice Pellets and Flakes, and others. So head over to Omni or give them a call, or you can go to the website at omnitruevalue.com. We've got a very busy weather day ahead, and I just want to say from the get-go, so this way you hear it now, the Joe and Joe Weather Show will be on this afternoon at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Even my dog JJ is happy. He's kind of trying to sneak in a little bit of a camera appearance here. So 4 p.m. Eastern Time as we deal with severe weather. Here we are, the second week of December. If you'd have said to me we'd be dealing with a widespread severe weather outbreak in the eastern United States in the beginning of December, I would have said, well, you know what? You're probably right, considering after what happened in November. And I don't want to play this down because last night was a very, very busy severe weather night across parts of the South and in the middle Mississippi Valley. Dozens of tornadoes and severe thunderstorm warnings were up, and we're already seeing it rather busy on the radar this morning. So I'm going to give you a shot here. This is the 9 a.m. view. So if you're watching this a couple of hours from now, make sure you go to weather.gov so that you can check out the latest radars for your local National Weather Service office, so you have everything up to date. And you'll notice, by the way, there are, even at 9 a.m., there are several severe thunderstorm warnings that were fired up, along with even some flash flood warnings on the southern end of this line, which extends down into Louisiana, runs northeastward through central Tennessee, and then northeast from there on up into West Virginia and into western New York. We also have quite a bit of rain and downpours going on in New England as warm air continues to move its way up the eastern seaboard. The Storm Prediction Center has a marginal risk of severe weather extending from Louisiana northeastward to about New York City, eastern and southeastern Pennsylvania, down to south central PA, central and south Jersey, and points southward into the Delmarva Peninsula, Virginia, the Appalachians, all the way back into North Georgia and the Deep South. And you can see where the slight risk is being drawn in northwest Georgia, on northward into Tennessee, and then back southwestward into Mississippi. So this is a pretty active severe weather day considering the time of year. And by the way, we do have tornado risk. I'm going to take the counties off so it's a little bit easier to see here. So there's your categorical risk of marginal to severe. Now we have the tornado risk. And I don't want to play this down, considering after what happened back in November, when we had an unprecedented severe weather outbreak in parts of southern New England and points nearby. So we're going to just keep our eyes on this. They've got a 2% tornado risk for the marginal risk zone in New Jersey, eastern, southeastern, south central PA into northeastern Virginia. And also the 5% tornado risk that exists up in northern Alabama, northwestern Georgia, and east central Tennessee. So very, very active indeed for this time of year. So check out the WPC's rainfall over the next 7 days. And the action continues to still be in terms of heavy precip out in the western part of the U.S., several to many inches from Southern California all the way up to coastal Washington State. Also seeing rains and some snows as you get into Canada, northern New England back to the northern lakes. 3/4 of an inch to 1.25 inches rainfall totals for the next week from West Virginia on down into Alabama and Mississippi. The coastal plain showing basically about 1/4 to 1/2 inch. So most of what we're going to see rainfall-wise this week is what we're going to see tonight as this cold front passes on through. So we're going to run you through the GFS very quickly as that warm tropical air continues to surge up the eastern seaboard. I think we're going to see some daytime heating developing this afternoon as some areas go partly sunny. There's a lot of dense fog around in many areas this morning, but I think we're going to see some breaks of sunshine develop and push temperatures up well into the 60s, in some places breaking even the 70-degree mark. You can see the showers and storms from western PA southwestward down into Mississippi and Alabama at 1 p.m. By 7 p.m., they're on the coast from upstate New York down to New York City and going southwest from there into western Virginia, western North and South Carolina, and northwest Georgia. And then they continue to move to the east, and our cold front moves offshore. Then we're going to get a shot of chilly air for tomorrow. We'll be down where we probably should be this time of year, or at least closer to where we should be this time of year, generally in the 40s. And we're setting up for what's going to be a week on the warm side. It's not going to be super blowtorch-ish, if there is such a meteorological description, but we are going to be in a ridge position here pretty much all week long. I think Thursday and Friday will probably be the warmest days this week, because after that, the ridge starts to flatten out, and we get a little bit of a push down from Canada as far as the northern part of the jet stream is concerned, and that carries us through the weekend and into the week before Christmas. And there are some subtle changes being indicated in the long range. They're not radical, but they at least move away from this what we've been describing as a blowtorch type of pattern. So Monday and Tuesday, it's a west wind. We get a little bit of a backdoor cold front Tuesday evening. A high builds down into Wednesday, so Wednesday will probably be a little cooler. Then the cold front goes back up as a warm front, and then Thursday and Friday will be very warm, and then we get another cold front to come through at the end of next week, maybe Thursday night, Friday morning. Hard to say in terms of the timing. And I wonder whether this might wind up being another round of some showers and thunderstorms, although the upper air is probably a little less supportive for severe weather. But you know something? This has just been a very strange second half of the year. This all started back in July, and it's been one weird event after another. Weather in 5 is brought to you by our friends at Omni True Value Hardware at 1226 North Wellwood Avenue in West Babylon, New York. 6317-561-125 for the best prices in town on anything regarding winter. And the website is omnitruevalue.com. I'm just going to really quick look at some of the teleconnections for the long range, because they are a bit on the interesting side today. The NAO, which is slightly positive at the moment, is forecast to go negative in a couple of days and then stay negative through next weekend and into Christmas week. So that's one change that is possibly helpful for those of you looking for some winter weather moving forward. The PNA, or the Pacific North America pattern, or the Pacific North America Index, is negative, but we do see some of the members trending up toward the neutral line as we head toward the end of next week and the beginning of the week before Christmas. Again, these are subtle changes. They're not going to all of a sudden mean that we're going to be in the Arctic icebox, but it should mean a trend to colder weather. And I also think, as I think back a couple of weeks ago, even in a pattern that is not really all that favorable for winter storms, even when the upper air doesn't look very good at all, sometimes you get these little windows that open up, and we saw that happen earlier this week. Granted, it was a very, very weak system, produced a coating to an inch in some places, and it wasn't any big deal. But don't rule out the possibility that something could sneak in during Christmas week and beyond, especially if we get these slight pattern adjustments as we head toward the end of the month. Okay, remember, the Joe and Joe Weather Show today at 4 o'clock Eastern Time. So be sure to tune in. I'm going to open the chat board on the Joe and Joe Weather Show shortly, and you'll be able to jump on early if you like. I know it's a little bit too early, But the chat board will be open if you want to have some weather conversation with all the regulars on there. There's no change in my health situation other than the fact that during the morning and afternoon, I'm usually in pretty good shape that I'm actually able to do things. So you get sick and a weekend comes, try finding a doctor. So I'm not sick enough to go back to the emergency room. And in the meantime, I'm heading for the bakery to pick up some gingerbread men because that helps soothe my stomach. Okay, everybody, have a great day. Thanks for the good wishes that many of you have sent to me. Keep your fingers crossed that they'll be able to resolve this early next week because I did have some tests done, and hopefully I'll know Monday or Tuesday as to what the outcomes of those tests are. All right, remember, 4 o'clock Eastern Time.